The point of Atmajnan is, Krishna will try to impress upon Arjuna that actually you are worrying about killing your elderly, grandfather, guru, etc. But actually you can never kill them. So all you can do is kill their bodies, but their soul is eternal. So yoga means reconnecting to God, and yoga can also mean reconnecting to our original spiritual self. So even according to science, they say that every 7 years, every cell of your body changes. So definitely, the cells which make up a child's body is completely different from the cells that make up elderly person's body. So Krishna is telling, as a person puts on new garments.
Oh, that's the dress example.
The dress example. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind.
Pranam Prabhuji. How are you this morning?
Doing good. How about you?
Bas, I'm fine, really. So we get on to our next session, really. Last time we left Arjuna as, instead of friend of Lord Krishna, a disciple of Lord Krishna. And that was the 8th or the 9th verse, really. So let's carry on from now, the new role, new relationship between Lord Krishna and Arjuna.
Yes. Now that Arjuna, he surrenders to Sri Krishna as a disciple. He is willing to listen now. He has accepted that I am a patient.
Yeah.
I need to receive treatment from a doctor. Now Krishna, he starts his instructions, right? Now Sanjaya, meanwhile, he is relating to Dhritarashtra what is happening on the war field. So he is telling, Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. At that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both armies, spoke the following words, the grief-stricken Arjuna. So in text number 11, it said, Ashocyananna shochastvam prajñavadam shabhashase gatasu nagatasumsha nanu shochanti pandita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So now, in a series of verses, Krishna is going to give Atmajnan to Arjuna. The point of Atmajnan is, Krishna will try to impress upon Arjuna that actually you are worrying about killing your elderly grandfather, your guru, etc. But actually you can never kill them.
You can never kill anyone, actually.
You can never kill anyone.
Correct.
So all you can do is kill their bodies, but their soul is eternal.
So he subtly is introducing this distinction between the body and the soul.
Yes. And he, see, by giving Atmajnan to Arjuna, Krishna is trying to achieve two objectives here. First of all, as I said, he is going to impress upon Arjuna that, you don't have to really bother about killing these people because they're immortal. The soul is immortal. That is one thing. And he's going to lay the foundation of the principles of yoga by speaking about Atmajnan. So because yoga is all about realizing our spiritual identity. That is the fundamental principle of yoga. To realize our spiritual identity. So in the Gita, Krishna is going to explain Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. But all these principles of yoga is based on the foundational principle that you are not material but spiritual.
I see.
So very systematically is going to lay the foundation in these verses. So it goes on for many verses actually.
I see. I see.
So he's going to start here from...
Prabhuji, if you can just quickly, in 2 minutes, explain what we mean by yoga. What exactly is yoga?
The word yoga comes from the word yuj.
Yuj.
Yes, means to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
So yoga means reconnecting to God, and yoga can also mean reconnecting to our original spiritual self.
I see. I see.
So that's what yoga is all about.
Mm.
So in order to be able to reconnect with God who is spiritual, we need to realize our own spiritual identity.
Mm.
And to be able to reconnect to our own spiritual nature, we need to first understand that we are spiritual.
Correct. Correct.
So for that, Krishna is going to explain here.
That's very different from the common man's understanding of yoga, which is really normally a series of bodily exercises, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Hatha Yoga, what you call.
Say, what we understand as yoga in the modern day world, the bodily exercises, is just one of the limbs of what is called as the Ashtanga Yoga system.
I see.
Ashta is 8. Anga means limbs. The 8-limbed process of yoga is called Ashtanga Yoga. So there is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So these are the 8 limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga system. And one of the limbs is Asana.
I see.
See, the ultimate purpose of the Ashtanga Yoga system is Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Absorption in trance, Samadhi. That is the goal of the Ashtanga Yoga system. In order to achieve that, one of the preliminary limbs is Asana.
Asana. Okay.
See, unless you are being positioned in the proper way, you can't really focus the mind.
I see.
So to be able to focus the mind better, you need to practice asana. But the ultimate purpose of the asana is to focus the mind.
It's not a physically fit body alone, really. It's significantly beyond that.
Yes.
That's a basic elementary requirement.
That's an elementary requirement because having a healthy body is also required.
Yeah.
Like we'll see in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is going to say that yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. He will emphasize the importance of leading a very balanced life so that materially we are more stable.
I see.
So when we are materially stable, then it becomes easier to focus on spirituality. So a healthy body is required to focus on our spiritual life. From that perspective, health is required. But to assume that yoga is all about health.
Yeah. So it's not, that's a very small, insignificant part of the whole yoga process.
It's one of the 8 limbs.
Got it. Okay.
So in these verses, till almost the 30th verse of the 2nd chapter, Krishna is going to ram home this point that you're not the body, you're the soul in different ways. Because this is, as I said, it's a very preliminary and important understanding.
Got it.
Okay. So I will read a select few verses here.
Sure. Yes.
So in text number 13, he says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So Krishna is speaking a very logical point here. What he's trying to say is, the soul doesn't just transmigrate at the time of death. It is transmigrating within this lifetime also.
Like the example we were discussing last time, if you recall. The body of a child, then the body of an adult, and the body of an old person. The body is changing, but the person is the same. Now what you're saying is, that too is transient, and death is still part of that same transient process.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, in that example that you're speaking, a child's body is completely different from an adult's body, isn't it?
Correct. Yes.
See, even according to science, they say that every 7 years, every cell of your body changes. So definitely, the composition, the cells which make up a child's body is completely different from the cells that make up an elderly person's body.
Correct.
But nonetheless, the person identifies himself as the same, or herself as the same, and even the near and dear ones, they identify as the same person.
Same person, yes.
So if every cell of the body has changed, what has remained the same? So there must be something which is non-material. And that's what Krishna is speaking about here. You're the soul and not the body.
Correct.
Now, regarding transmigration of the soul into another life, Krishna makes it very sound very logical here, in the sense that just like your
it's just the same process.
Yeah, it's the same the process. You just extrapolate it.
Yeah.
Now, even otherwise, I don't know whether you have heard about this book called Many Lives, Many Masters.
No, not really.
By Dr. Brian Weiss. So there he speaks about, it's a very, very famous book. There he speaks about one of his patients who went through hypnotic regression, and she remembers her past lives. And that's what, the title of the book, Many Lives. I read that book. It's quite fascinating, but at the same time, a lot of people have raised this objection against this kind of proof of, if you call it proof of reincarnation. It's not a substantial proof. Why? Because, when a person is under hypnotic regression, the person is very suggestible.
Yeah.
Because the person...
It's possible for you to reorient the mind, probably.
Yes. And you can actually make the patient speak what you want the patient to speak.
Correct.
Right? But then, in this another book called Life Between Life, which is written by Dr. Joel Witten. He is a professor of psychiatry at the University of Toronto Medical School. He's written this book called Life Between Life. So there he speaks about a special kind of hypnotic regression called xenoglossy. Now, xeno, it's a Latin word which refers to strange or foreign, and glossa means tongue. So xenoglossy refers to the ability to communicate in a very strange or a foreign language.
I see.
So in his book, he speaks about a few case studies. In one of the cases, there's a young American called Harold Zarofsky. So under hypnotic regression, he speaks, he recollects a few words. And, actually, the psychiatrist, the professor, he asks Harold Zarofsky to actually write down phonetically what he's able to recollect under hypnotic regression. And he writes down phonetically, and then once he's out of hypnotic regression, the professor, he goes through it and he's not able to understand what exactly is being written here phonetically. It's a foreign language. He can't make out. And even the patient himself, once he's out of hypnotic regression, he's not able to identify what he has written.
Yeah.
And then it is sent to language experts. And then it is discovered that this particular language that he was actually communicating in under hypnotic regression was the language spoken by the Vikings.
Oh, I see.
Who were seafarers between 700 and 1300 CE.
So it's not just life immediately before. It probably is significantly before life, really.
Significantly before. And that's very interesting, isn't it? And he was writing in a language called Old Norse, which was long ago extinct. See, a language which is long ago extinct, how is it possible for someone to just write it?
Correct.
Right? So, what is the explanation for such case of xenoglossy? The only logical explanation is the patient must have lived during those times, a previous life. Now, I don't know whether you have heard about this another professor called Professor Ian Stevenson.
No.
He was the Carlson Professor of Psychiatry from the University of Virginia. So he lived in the 20th century, and he investigated over 3,000 cases of spontaneous past life memories of small children.
I see.
See, small children, maybe they are 3, 4, or 5-year-old, sometimes even younger than that, they spontaneously start communicating in a different language about a different life with specifics, not general, very specific. So out of 3,000 cases, he actually scientifically verified around 1,500 cases. And now one of these cases, I know this person, he lives in New Bombay. His name is Deep Kapadia. He's a Gujarati. You're a Gujarati?
Yes.
So he was born in May 1979. So this Deep Kapadia, he lived in Borivali in Bombay. So he grew up in a Gujarati community. And when he was just 10 or 11 months old, that's when he started speaking. Along with Gujarati, he started speaking a little bit of Marwadi also.
I see.
So the parents were surprised.
Where is he picking this up from?
Isn't it? And then, whenever he spoke in Marwadi, and then he started speaking about a few more things, which the parents couldn't really relate to. He was like in a constant comparison mode. Why are you giving me such simple food? I can get better food also. Or why are we living in such a small house? I've got a big place to live in. So what is he speaking about? And whenever he used to speak strangely, he used to get fever.
I see.
And he used to get, pain in his knees and joints and things like that. And they took him to a pediatrician. So the pediatrician, after a while, he started wondering that, this seems to be some kind of paranormal occurrences. So he referred them to a psychiatrist from Bombay Hospital. Doctors came to know that he claims to be a person called Pannalal Agrawal, who was a chief security guard of Udaipur Palace under Maharaja Fateh Singh.
Oh, I see.
And he was killed through poisoning.
Oh, I see.
In his previous life. So then the parents, they decided that let us take him to Udaipur. They're still in denial mode. How is it possible, kind of a thing. And even the doctors obviously wanted to verify whether it's really true or is it just a childish fantasy. So he was told, the child was told that we are going to Nathdwara. Nathdwara is a...
Yes. Nathdwara is next to Udaipur.
Udaipur, and it's a famous place of pilgrimage.
Absolutely.
Right? So the bus was going to Nathdwara via Udaipur. And when Udaipur came, this boy went,
agitated.
He became very agitated. My home has come. All of you get down. And then they went to Udaipur Palace. And very dramatically, Deep Kapadia, he pointed to a portrait and told that behind this portrait there is a secret door.
Oh, I see.
Out of the palace. Even the security guards of that time didn't know about it. And then he told that within a locked room, if you unlock this room, you will find 3 fans that run on kerosene.
Oh, I see.
And when they opened it, there was just 3 kerosene fans, not 2, not 4. And then he also took everyone to the police station, where the Pannalal Agrawal's murder case was registered. And so it was verified.
Correct.
In this way, right? See, so this is just one case study here, but Ian Stevenson, see, the cases that he calls verified are cases wherein he becomes a part of the investigation even before the two families come in touch with each other. See, once the family from the previous life and the family from this life, they meet, there can always be adulterations. But even before that happens, when Ian Stevenson, he intervenes, that he calls, such cases he calls verified cases. So he has done a very thorough research here.
And close to 1,500 cases like this.
Yes. And over 4 decades, he worked tirelessly in this direction. See, but still, the point remains that scientists still don't know the concept of the soul. And because they don't know the concept of the soul, they find it very difficult to stomach his findings.
Yes.
Even though it is very apparent and very clear.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to the logical mind, ultimately. Yeah. Or so-called logical mind.
So-called logical.
Scientific logical mind.
Yes. Because, okay, even if they accept it, then they don't have an explanation. And if they don't have an explanation, they find it very difficult to accept it.
Correct. And I guess the basic underlying principle from a scientific point of view is, yes, it seems to be correct for 1,500 cases, but it is not correct for 700 crore cases. Or we don't have proof for the remaining 700 crore cases. So how do we justify that? That's the issue.
See, yes. See, there was this reporter from the Washington Post. His name was Tom Schroeder. He has written this book called Old Souls, Compelling Evidence of Children Who Remember Past Lives. This is the name of his book. It's a bestseller. Now, he lived during the times of Ian Stevenson. He's still alive, by the way. And somewhere in the 1990s, he heard about the findings of Brian Weiss, the book Many Lives and Many Masters that I was speaking about. So he went and talked to Dr. Brian Weiss, and he was thoroughly disappointed. It wasn't convincing to him at all, right? The hypnotic regression stuff. And then he came across the findings of Ian Stevenson. And he thought, from a reporter's perspective, now, Ian Stevenson's case studies have appeared in very reputed magazines like the American Journal for Scientific Studies and all these journals, scientific journals. It has appeared. But Tom Schroeder, the reporter from the Washington Post, wanted to see this entire thing from a reporter's perspective. Because when Ian Stevenson reports it, it's cold and scientific.
Large number of cases.
Yes.
Large number of cases.
And no emotions. He doesn't record the emotions. So he wanted to observe this entire thing and wanted to verify it also. Is it true? Or is it just fabricated?
Yeah.
So he traveled with Ian Stevenson to places like Lebanon and India. And he was a non-believer initially. But as he goes through these cases and he speaks to parents, and in most cases, see, one of the objections raised by a lot of scientifically minded people, so-called, is that the parents want to become famous, and that is why they hype up.
Yeah.
But the reporter, he noticed that the parents were actually reluctant.
They were actually trying to subdue it, probably.
They're trying to subdue it.
Like in Deep Patel's case.
Deep Kapadia's
case. Yeah.
Now, why Deep Kapadia, coming back to Deep Kapadia, thanks for reminding me of that. Why Deep Kapadia wants to just, sideline it is because it took Deep Kapadia almost a decade to live a normal life. See, we have sufficient trouble dealing with the memories of this life. If you start remembering memories of past lives also, then, life becomes unbearable. So even the psychiatrists who are dealing with Deep Kapadia made very clear to the parents that take him to Udaipur once and then cut off all ties with this new family. Because he won't be able to handle it. So Deep Kapadia always keeps it low profile. Because, it's very difficult to deal, right? With overwhelming memories. So, yes, this Tom Schroeder, as he went through these cases, as he was meeting parents, he writes in a very beautiful book, he writes that I was actually becoming involved in this. They're so convincing and so overwhelming. How can you deny it? So it's a very revealing thing here. And it's important for us to go through these findings also. Why? Because most of us have been brought up in a scientific, modern scientific educational system.
Yeah.
And to see that, even from a modern science perspective, there is this claim of reincarnation or the existence of the soul holds water. We need to understand it.
Correct.
And the proof that Ian Stevenson produces, it is sufficient for anyone who is serious on the spiritual path. See, what I was saying is, if you want to believe it, you will believe it. And if you want to deny it, you will find
reasons.
You will find so many reasons why you don't want to believe it. So it becomes a purely subjective matter here.
Yeah.
Because once there is like reasonable evidence that is produced, now it is up to the free will of the person whether he wants to accept it
or not,
and move ahead, and whether you want to just reject it and stay behind, right? Anyway, so Krishna goes further here. So this is text number 13. And then he speaks about the distinction between the body and the soul in the future verses also. Then in text number 22, he says, Vasam shijirnani yatha vihaya navani granati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. See, this refers to the example that you gave in our previous session, right? So Krishna is telling, as a person puts on new garments.
Oh, that's the dress example.
The dress example.
Yes.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. And then these are famous verses. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chayanam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati maruta. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. And Krishna goes further along these same lines, emphasizing the existence of the soul. And then he says, O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Slaying anyone, really.
Yes, you don't have to grieve. And then he says, now carrying with this logic that, you're worrying too much about killing them, while in fact you can never kill them. And then he says, considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. Now, for Arjuna to fight, this knowledge was very important for him. See, even from self-improvement perspective, this knowledge of us being a soul goes a long way. So I don't know whether you have read this book called Atomic Habits.
No.
It's a very popular book. In fact, we have it here. It's written by James Clear. So he speaks about how to go about, changing habits. See, it's a very universal problem. People want to get rid of old habits and they want to cultivate new ones. They want to get rid of bad habits and cultivate good ones. Right? And we face this challenge, right? Old bad habits tend to stick. And the new good habits tend to not stick. The habits that we want to cultivate, they don't stay with us. And the habits...
The bad habits appeal to the senses. That's the problem.
Yes. So, right in the introduction, he gives... It's a very beautiful book. Right in the first chapter, or if maybe the introduction, he speaks about the science of behavioral change. So, when you speak about behavioral change, this change can be at 3 levels, he says. Change at the level of outcomes, change in the process, and change in identity. Now, change in outcome, we all understand it. For example, somebody is used to smoking. The change in outcome is such a person will try to see that, earlier I used to smoke 2 packets a day. Now I'm smoking just 1 packet per day. So that's a change in outcome. And people, when they are trying to change their habits, a lot of people tend to focus on just the outcome, and that's not sustainable. So the deeper level of behavioral change is when you focus on the change in process.
Yes.
So you have a plan of action that whenever you feel like smoking, maybe I think they recommend that you eat some chewing gum or something.
Correct.
So you have a plan of action and you focus on the plan of action, you focus on the process, and when you focus on the process, the change in outcome will automatically happen.
Higher probability of that happening. Really. Yes.
The higher probability.
Yes.
Right. Now, James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, he suggests that you go even deeper than the process. The deeper level of behavioral change that James Clear recommends in his book is change in identity. Right? See, in this particular example of the smoking, as I said, one level is to see how many packets you were smoking earlier, how many packets.
Outcome.
Yes. And the second is the process. You focus on the process. When a smoker focuses on the change in identity, what happens? See, when you offer a cigarette to a smoker, somebody who is smoking, you offer a cigarette to that person. One way in which such a person can deny you is, no, thank you. I am trying to quit smoking. But another way in which such a person can deny the cigarette is, no, thank you. I'm a non-smoker.
I don't smoke.
No, I'm a non-smoker.
I'm a non-smoker. Yes.
I'm a non-smoker. So when he says that I'm trying to quit smoking, he has not yet worked on the change in identity.
He's still in the trying phase.
He's still in the trying phase.
Yes.
When
the identity hasn't changed.
I'm a non-smoker. When that becomes your identity, then there are much higher chances that you will be able to successfully quit smoking.
Correct.
The same is true if you're trying to reduce your weight also.
Yeah.
When you start identifying yourself as a slim person, as a fit person, then you will do everything under your control to keep your weight under control. So the change in identity is the deepest level of change and it's the most sustainable, James Clear says in his book. So that is why Krishna, see, he is the master of behavioral change in the Bhagavad Gita. See, why do we turn to the Bhagavad Gita to bring about a change in our behavior, isn't it? A change in our character. And Krishna, right at the very beginning, gives you a new identity. He says that your true identity is that you are a spirit soul.
Soul, not the body.
Not the body. And what are the characteristics of the soul? He'll explain. And then he explains the principles of yoga in the future chapters. The different yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, are the different processes.
I see. Okay. And there's something right in the beginning called Sankhya Yoga. What is that really?
Sankhya Yoga is the yoga of analysis.
I see.
And this is Sankhya Yoga, so to speak.
So he's analyzing.
Okay. He's analyzing the difference between matter and spirit so that we come to the conclusion that I'm not material, I'm spiritual.
Oh, I see.
So this Sankhya is analysis.
Analytical.
Sankhya Yoga is analytical. Right. So Krishna, see, ultimately you want a change in outcome, right? But for that, there's a change in process. So he's going to give us the process of yoga. But before he gives the process, he gives us a different identity. He tells us. So
normally you would start from the other end. You would start saying, I want to change the outcome, so I will smoke less cigarettes. Then you'll start saying, okay, no, let me do something else rather than smoke. That's the process. And then finally you will change identity. What he's trying to do is do the last step first, really.
Yes. And that's exactly what James Clear also says in Atomic Habits. He says that change of identity is the most fundamental principle of behavioral change. You have to start from change of identity. And when you do that, your behavioral change will be more sustainable. So the Gita, now Atomic Habits is a new book. It's a mega bestseller. The Gita, it goes to show how
that thinking had already been there.
Yes. Yeah. 5,000 years.
Was there.
Yes, the physics was already there. So how the Vedas and the Gita are so much sophisticated and so advanced.
And deep.
And so deep. So in the same way, he continues, he kind of is trying to inspire Arjuna to fight. He says that in this next few verses, he is inspiring Arjuna, "O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight." So this is text number 37.
37. Really.
So far, Krishna has inspired Arjuna to fight on the basis of Sankhya Yoga. Soul, Sankhya Yoga, as you rightly pointed out. Now, in future verses, he is going to explain from the perspective of Karma Yoga, and that we will take up in our next session.
Correct. Good. So the first teaching after Arjuna has become a disciple really is the distinction between the soul and the body.
Yes.
And how the body keeps changing, but the soul is permanent.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.